Okay, I want to review the homework assignment called 15 Green Things. So, you need to make sure that you start off the assignment by downloading a zip folder called 15 Green Things. And in this folder is going to be 15 images, and all of the images are green. And your challenge is to bring all these images into one file. And you can see here on the right side of my screen that I have all these images brought in as they are. You don't want to alter them before you bring them in. You want to bring them in as green in their full size. And then the challenge is that you want to mask parts of these images, practicing masking. So you're going to be changing the color, the texture, and all of, filters. So change the original green image, its color and texture, and make a new design from them. So you'll see this is an example of an almost complete homework assignment. Again, note that the way your layers need to work is you need to have the images. See the layers here. You can see all the images in the thumbnail on the left, and on the right, you can see the attached layer mask. So for example, this first layer is the boy, which the layer is also named, and you can see that there is a color overlay layer style added. So if I turn this layer style off, you can see the original green image. So if I double click on this word color overlay, you'll see that this image has a red hue applied to it to make it not green anymore. If you scroll down, you'll see lots of layer styles used. Another thing that I want you to use is practice using clipping masks in this homework assignment too. So here you see here this arrow pointing down shows that there is a clipping mask being applied using the trees within the arrow. So if I turn that off, you'll see that this image is embedded in this arrow image. So the tree image is embedded in the arrow image. So clipping masks need to be used also. So let me show you really quickly how I would do this, how I would bring a new image in. So this is how I want you to do it. So here I have a tab of a car. So this is one of the 15 green images. I'm going to do an edit, or select all. So I'm going to select the whole image. You can see the marching ants around the outside. And then I'm going to copy the whole image by going edit, copy. So I've selected the whole image, I've copied the whole image, and now I'm going to open up my project I'm working on, and I'm going to go edit, paste. So I've just pasted the car layer into my image. I'm going to go ahead and name this layer car really quick. And there's two things here I want to change. One is the color, of course, and then also the scale, and maybe I want to rotate it. So first, let me change the size of this. I'm going to go edit, image adjustments. Sorry guys. It's weird to do this live. Edit, transform, scale. So see that. So I'm gonna put my cursor in the bottom left corner, and I'm gonna slowly pull and make this car a lot smaller. And then I'm going to hit return on my keyboard to confirm the scale transformation, or you can hit this little checkbox in the top part of your screen to confirm the transformation. I'm also now going to rotate this really quick. I'm going to go edit, transform, rotate. And I'm going to rotate the car a little bit. And then again, I'm going to hit the checkbox or hit enter to confirm the rotation. And now I'm going to mask it. So there's a couple of ways you can mask that we've gone over in our previous lecture, but because there's such a lovely white background on this car image, I'm going to grab my magic wand tool, and I'm going to select the white portion of this image. And then I'm going to go down here in the bottom part of my layers panel, and I'm going to hit this little icon. It looks like a square with a black circle in the middle of it called Add Layer Mask, and I'm going to click it. Oh, it took away the car. So I want to change that really quick. I'm going to go to Edit, undo layer mask really quick. And so I've selected the whites. What that means is I need to inverse my selection to have the car remain. So I'm going to go to select, inverse. So now I'm selecting the opposite. I'm just selecting the car, which is great. And I'm going to go back down here again and hit my add layer mask icon. And there we go. So you can see here, I have the original green car still in my layers thumbnail. And then you can see to the right of that, the linked mask. So all images need to be intact with a mask attached in your file. Now here comes the fun part. I'm going to add a color overlay to this. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to add a adjustment layer. So I'm going to add a hue and saturation adjustment layer. Let's see here. So you can see the car's changing, but so is the rest of the image. So I'm going to want to change that with the clipping mask. But let's go ahead and focus on the car layer right now. And I want this car layer pink. Maybe I'll make it more saturated so it's really, really bright. All right, so that's great. So I've added a hue and saturation adjustment layer. However, I want to have this adjustment layer just be applied to the car layer. So with my hue and saturation adjustment layer activated, I'm going to go up to the top right corner of my layers panel and I'm going to select create clipping mask. And what this is doing is it's making the adjustment layer only be applied to the layer directly below it, which is our car layer. So I'm going to create clipping mask. And there you go. So this hue and saturation is only being applied to this car layer. If I turn it on and off, you can see. So that's one way you can change the color of your of a layer. Another way you can change it is down here at the very, very bottom. I have a green grass layer that I need to change, and you'll see it's not visible yet, so I'm going to activate it. And of course I need to change this color of the grass. So this time I'm going to change the color of the grass by using a layer style. So I'm going to go ahead and choose color overlay, and my layer panel is going to pop up. Let's see. For some reason. There we go. It wasn't active. So it's a little too heavy, so I'm going to open up the cover layer, the overlay again. I'm going to bring the opacity down. So you can see this grass layer has been changed. Let's see if any of the blending modes are going to be kind of cool. Saturation doesn't seem to work. I'm just going to keep it normal. And I'm going to up my opacity a little bit. There we go. And click OK. So I've just applied a color overlay to my grass layer, so it's no longer green. So if I hide and reveal this, you can see the color has been changed. I think it also might be fun to apply some sort of a pattern overlay. Let's see what that looks like. So it's kind of a fun. So the layer style pattern overlay appears. I'm gonna change it to maybe like a little polka dots. I'm gonna bring the opacity down so I can still see some of the grass peeking through. It's a little texture to it. Click OK. So I've just changed this green grass layer. There's no mask on this one, which is fine. I don't need masks on every single layer, but I've added a color overlay to get rid of the green, and I've added a pattern overlay to give the grass a little texture. So that's a quick tutorial. Another thing to note is the image size and resolution of this needs to be created in an 8.5 inch by 11 inch height and width. That could be vertical or horizontal, and I want the resolution to be 100. And then you're going to go ahead and hit save and submit it, and let me know if you have any questions on 15 Green Things.